stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon. Yeah, that trick didn't work. It looks kind of cool, though. It's just in the wrong place. Yep. That's why I was late. I was doing that. It did give the effect that I wanted it to. So was to make it look cloudy above me. And dents down some of the light, but I've got to stretch it out. Okay, so that's probably you, Amber. That's why I was late. Just trying to make my life feel pretty. My poor wife, she's been sick for 3 days. 3 days. So we're going to read out of the big book today. A few things. It looks like sometime in March, we will be bringing Al-Anon into the Club Trudge. Thursdays, and this is all not set in stone, but we're talking about Thursdays being family night, and then we have it set now. The third Friday of each month is going to be a speaker meeting. Yeah, now you're late. Well, we're both wizards, so we could show up when we want to. I'm late because of the thing of I was trying to do this and I just didn't have the time. I think I need to put it the other way. So it was kind of working. But yeah, so Thursdays, there's a very big group of Al-Anons that have been having to go to Brighton, and they're looking for a place to call home. And it seems like a very, very good fit. Alateen works differently now, and you have to have certain certificates and stuff to run it. So, this is all good information. Today I decided to read out of There Is a Solution. Try to pick some of these things that we read in the meetings, but we don't really tend to talk about them too much. So I decided to go right after page 21, which we call page 22. Okay. 21. Okay. All right. This is by no means a comprehensive picture of a true alcoholic, as our behavior patterns vary, but this description should identify him roughly. Why does he behave like this? If hundreds of experiences have shown him that one drink means another debacle with all its attendant suffering and humiliation, why is it he takes that one drink? Why can't he stay on the wagon? What has become of the common sense and the willpower he still sometimes displays with respect to other matters? Man, and this is the conundrum, isn't it? It is. It is a conundrum. This is the insanity of the disease. We don't know. I didn't know what else to do. I didn't know what else I could do in order to not drink. Perhaps there will never be a full answer to these questions. Opinions vary considerably as to why the alcoholic reacts differently from normal people. We are not sure why. Once a certain point is reached, little can be done for him. We cannot answer this riddle. Okay. Those are the 4 marbles. Call them the marbles. I haven't talked about marbles in a while. So long now, I'm not going to use it. We know that while the alcoholic keeps away from drink, as he can do for many months or years, he reacts much like other men. We are equally positive that once he takes any alcohol, whatever, into his system, something happens, both bodily and mentally, in the bodily and mentally sense, which makes it virtually impossible for him to stop. The experience of any alcoholic will be abundantly confirmed. Okay? Now I've written after that, from now on, mental obsession. Yeah. Once I have decided to take a drink, whether I've taken it or not, it is the only thing on my mind. It's the only thing on my mind. Nothing else will crowd in there. Above anything, the most paramount thing that I need in this world is a drink. And if you stand in my way, there's going to be trouble. These observations would be academic and pointless if our friend never took the first drink, thereby setting the terrible cycle in motion. Therefore, the main problem of the alcoholic centers in his mind rather than in his body. So the problem is this. See, I'm just trying to look for an answer. And when you have limited outlets, then you're going to take the ones that you have. In our case, it's alcohol. But unfortunately, alcohol can take over so much that it becomes the only thing in our life. And when that happens, that's it. Okay. Now for me, once I took that first drink, I became insatiable. I mean, there wasn't enough alcohol. I was always worried if there was enough alcohol. I was always worried. Because I knew I would need more. Okay. My problem is if I had too much alcohol, okay, I will drink in blackout. I will drink in blackout. And if I had too much alcohol around the house, I would drink myself to death. That's what it was like for me. Okay. So if you ask him why he started on that last bender, the chances are he will offer you any one of 100 alibis. Sometimes these excuses have a certain plausibility, but none of them really make sense in the light of the havoc on an alcoholic's drinking bout creates. They sound like the philosophy of a man who, having a headache, beats himself on the head with a hammer so he can't feel the ache. If you draw attention to this fallacious reasoning to the attention of an alcoholic, he will laugh it off or become irritable and refuse to talk or become irritated. Or I will chew your ass out. Yep, I'll chew your ass out. If you would have tried to interfere with my drinking, I would tear you a new one. Hey. Towards the end of my dating, okay, I would tell girls, okay, I'm an alcoholic. I know it. Don't try and change me. Just don't. I will leave. Okay. And invariably, they would try. I'm good at picking out codependents. I'm an alcoholic. Of course, I'm great at picking out codes. I can see them in my own way. Okay. I knew I could manipulate easier. You bet. Okay. That is just pure manipulation. Okay. Also, what is that? What is that a sense of? Narcissism. Narcissism. You can tell me what to do. I know everything. Once in a while, he may tell the truth. And the truth, strange to say, is usually that he has no more idea why he took that first drink than you have. I don't. I still don't. I have no idea why. But I do know that once it happens, this is not it. I won't be this person. This person will disappear entirely. Some drinkers have excuses for which they are satisfied part of the time, but in their hearts, they really do not know why they do it. Once this malady has a real hold, they are a baffled lot. There is the obsession that somehow, someday they will beat the game, but they often suspect that they are down for the count. So I always knew I was an alcoholic, and I never ever tried to control my drinking. I did not attempt that. No, I never sat down and said, I'm only going to have. Never have I done that. Okay. For me, it was always full on alcoholic or not. It was very black or white for me. I'm an extremist that way. I always knew I was an alcoholic. Well, there came a day when I was tired of being called an alcoholic, and I was going to show you what an alcoholic was. There I am, beating myself on the head with a hammer to cure my headache. All right? But we know we're down for the count. My point on that is, do we really want to drink like other people? And if I'm honest with myself, no, I don't want to drink like normal people. I want to get drunk. Okay? There is no 2 drinks in my head. It doesn't work like that. Okay? When I think of alcohol, my mind goes to an extreme. Okay? If they had a cure for alcoholism, you know what runs through my brain? Oh, I drink all I want then. There we are. We're right back at the insanity. It only takes a second for that thought process to hinge back in, because it's your main thought process. It's the one you've used all your life. I don't care how old you are. It's going to stay. It is not going to leave. Okay, the obsession of alcohol is lifted from us, but it requires work to maintain that. We've got to maintain that. God gave me a perfect release. Now I work on keeping that perfect release. How true this is, few realize. In a vague way, their friends and family sense that these drinkers are abnormal, but everybody hopefully awaits the day when the sufferer will rouse himself from the lethargy and assert his power of will. And if that's what we're going to wait on, you're going to watch this person die. Most likely. Unless it's interfered with. Okay? This may sound like I may sound like kind of a jerk, but interfere with their drinking. Do it. See, the reason I knew that the only way I was going to quit drinking is if I took away my freedom. So I took my freedom away from myself. Okay. And I would check myself into detox. And it worked. Because detox didn't help. We're not going to go there today, though. The tragic truth is that if the man be a real alcoholic, the happy day may not arrive. So remember, not everybody even hears about AA. And everybody that comes into AA says pretty much the same thing. This is not what I expected. Okay? It's not what I expected. He has lost control. At a certain point in the drinking of every alcoholic, he passes into a state where the most powerful desire to stop drinking is absolutely no avail. This tragic situation has already arrived in practically every case long before it is suspected. And this is why Al-Anon and Alateen are so freaking important right now. This is why I'm pushing for it hard, man. There are prevention people. They are our prevention people. These are the people that stop us from doing stupid stuff. Okay? Alateen saved my freaking life. Because I knew as an alcoholic that if I got into harder drugs, it would kill me. I knew I would get easily addicted. So I stayed away from them. And I learned that in Alateen. Okay? The fact is that most alcoholics, for reasons yet obscure, have lost the power of choice and drink. I have no choice. I do today. Actually, I do have that choice. And I choose no. My answer is no. Do you want a drink? No. Fuck no. Well, I don't know. Is it a Coke? Okay. A Coke with ice? Oh, okay, yeah, then I'll have that. What kind of drink we talking about? Okay. And I stay away from mocktails. I mean, the name in and of itself, mocktail, tells you. Non-alcoholic beer, no. It has alcohol in it. Okay, that means you are intentionally putting alcohol in your system. And the same thing happens every single time. You go out. I did. I tried that route. Didn't work. You want to know why? Because I didn't drink beer for the taste. And non-alcoholic beer tastes even worse than regular beer. Our so-called willpower becomes practically non-existent. We are unable at certain times to bring into our consciousness with sufficient force the memory of suffering and humiliation of even a week or a month ago. We are without defense against the first drink. And this is all italicized. That means it's very important. Okay? All of it is important, but they really want you to understand. Okay? I'm the kind of person, and this didn't happen. Okay? But I'm the kind of, well, in jail one weekend, doing the next, doing whatever I wanted to again the next week, forgetting I was in jail. I had to do this and I had to do that. Okay. The almost certain consequence, and I always knew there were consequences, especially at the end. Okay. Here was the consequence at the end: isolation, loneliness. The last step in my drinking career, my wife said, I will not be around you if you've been drinking. And she did. She did that. And it probably killed her to do it. But she did it. It worked. Why? Because I love her more than I love alcohol. She knows that. She knows it. I do. Of course I love her more than alcohol. But when I'm drinking, no, I don't. No, I don't. Isn't that fucked up? How one drink can change my whole personality. Oh well. So I don't drink. The almost certain consequences that follow taking even a glass of beer do not crowd into the mind to deter us. If these thoughts occur, they are hazy and readily supplanted with the old threadbare idea that this time we shall handle ourselves like other people. There is a complete failure of the kind of defense that keeps one from putting his hand on a hot stove. The alcoholic may say to himself in the most casual way, and this is bad, okay? When we've gotten to indifference and casual, we become we become much more dangerous. We don't know it, okay? But when you reach the fuckets, that's exactly what happens. I don't think when that happens. Literally, I don't think of the consequences. Okay. And I'm the kind of person that if I ever, like, if I was in a car and I killed somebody else, I don't know. I don't know that I could live with myself. I just don't. All right. The alcoholic may say to himself in the most casual way, it won't burn me this time, so here's how. Or perhaps he doesn't think at all. That was me. How often of us have begun to drink in this nonchalant way, and after the third or fourth pounded on the bar and said to ourselves, for God's sakes, how did I ever get started again? Only to have that thought supplanted by, and we all go through this, well, I'll stop at the sixth drink. I didn't count. Did you count? I didn't count. Or what's the use anyhow? When this sort of thinking is fully established in an individual with alcoholic tendencies, he has placed himself, he has probably placed, no, you have, we placed ourselves beyond human aid, and unless locked up, may die or go permanently insane. You know, if you go read the original book, it'll say stuff like, and unless locked up, will die or go permanently insane. There isn't these fluffy words in there to help us out. So these stark and ugly facts have been confirmed by legions. You know how big legions is? I don't, but it's pretty big. It's pretty big. And we think we're terminally unique. It's going to be different for me because I am different than the billions and billions of people that have come before me that were alcoholic. I'll go with millions. Doesn't make a difference. Let's go with thousands. So what? You're still one of them, and I'm not going to be different. And now I don't want to be different. I just want to be me. That's it. But for the grace of God, there would have been thousands more convincing demonstrations. So many want to stop, but cannot. But cannot. I'm going to read one more paragraph. Then I'll wrap up this day. Very successful day. Amber, did you hear me talk about Al-Anon? I'll put something in our thing. There is a solution. Okay. And the solution's not going to be, it's not going to be easy. Okay. But as Amber has been saying lately, and I love this, also do not make it harder than it needs to be. Because I do that too. I tend to make things harder than they need to be so that I can deal with them better. What that is just drama. I'm creating drama, and I don't need drama. No drama. I don't need no drama. Can you walk like an Egyptian? Can you? Every Gen Xer can walk like an Egyptian. So, walk like an Egyptian. Okay. Almost none of us liked it. Okay. Almost none of us liked the self-searching, the leveling of our pride, the confession of shortcomings, which the process requires for its successful consummation. Okay. What does all that mean? It means in order for it to work, you have got to do something. What that means. Okay. But we saw it really worked in others. So once we have figured out that we are alcoholic and we are not terminally unique amongst our fellows, we can trust the program. And you do this without even knowing about it. Okay. You do this without even realizing it. You know what? That guy over there, he's got 2 weeks. I got 2 days. And he looks like he's doing better. That guy over there, he's got 20 years. I got 2 days. He's full of shit. right? They're not full of crap. But that's what the newcomer will tend to think. And why should they think any other way? Why should they think any other way? And we had come to believe in the hopelessness and futility of life as we had been living in. When therefore we were approached, it says sponsorship here. When we were approached, you know I'm going to say that. You know I'm going to say sponsorship, man. That's a sponsor. This is how it's supposed to happen. You're supposed to be approached. When we were approached and those whom the problem been solved, there was nothing left for us but to pick up the simple kit of spiritual tools laid at our feet. We have found much of heaven, and we have been rocketed into a fourth dimension of existence of which we had not even dreamed. And I've got a pretty good imagination, man, but I never thought it would be like this. I didn't. It's much better than I thought it would have ever been. It's better than anything I could have ever imagined. That's for sure. So thank you, everybody, for being here. I will see you tomorrow. I love you. Peace out. And